Alrighty. Hello, everyone. My name is Johnny Girardi. I'm DataSelf's founder and CEO. And first of all, thank you very much for coming here today. I know the world out there is pretty crazy, pretty busy for many of us. And I want to be sure I provide hopefully some good information for you to help make decisions and make your life better. Right now in DataSelf, we're all operating normally. Thankfully, we're very busy. Many companies are needing better reporting and analytics, especially in this crazy time. So we're being very busy. And our main challenge has been keeping up and being sane. So I'm thankful that all of my team here at DataSelf, our problems are something we have to be thankful for. We're busy and we are trying to keep sane. I know many of other companies and people out there are going through some major other problems, so we're thankful. What I'm going to be talking about today is natural language, artificial intelligence, and advanced analytics by DataSelf. This solution has been already rolled out to 4 main ERP systems, Acumatica, Sage 100, Sage 300, Sage X3, and also NetSuite, we're about to roll it out. So these are the products that we're already supporting. And what are the main benefits of this technology? First of all, it's highly interactive. Users, business people can get reports and dashboards and make changes by themselves without calling consultants and specialists. It's very interactive. Overall, it's easy to customize, it's easy to address specific reporting and data analysis needs from 2 angles. Easy for business users, they can do a lot of changes themselves without calling for consultants. And for the more elaborate customizations, consultants find DataSelf very empowering and easier than the alternative tools that usually come along with the common, with the ERP systems that I mentioned and the reporting tools typically available in the mid-market. So easy to customize for both audiences. It runs fast. Our benchmark is no matter how much data you have, our reports run in seconds. 10 seconds is the benchmark. If we are over 10 seconds, we usually need to fine tune the system. And again, no matter how much data you have, it runs really fast. And it does not slow down your ERP system. It's completely independent. You can run reports all the time. It doesn't affect the source system. And this advanced analytics offer, which is a new product, the deployment is about minutes, 15 minutes for Acumatica and about half an hour or so for on-prem systems. So what I'm going to show you today here, everything I'm going to show you today here can be deployed in minutes. And pretty much, in a few hours or tomorrow, the whole data comes alive with your system. So let's take a look at the product. The way I'm going to be going through this presentation to show how the solution works is, first of all, is showing how different people interact with DataSelf. The first example, I want to show how decision makers, the people who typically don't have time to learn reporting tools, the only users, they want to get information out of their systems. And quite often it's challenging, it's complicated. They have to call people to make modifications. So I'm going to show how natural language enables those people to get answer to their question, just like searching on the internet, like Google Bing, right? You type a question. If the answer to the question is out there and the tool understands your question, it will build a report on the fly with an accurate, instant answer to that question. So I'm going to show first how business users can do that. Then I'm going to show how people who go through more training, typically, business analysts, consultants, and some business users as well, they can use the report editor functionality to create a new dashboard from scratch. It's a simple example, but very powerful, and it tells a real story. So I'll go through that. And finally, I'll show some of the out-of-the-box reports and dashboards that have proven to be valuable for many organizations. And then I'll talk about deployment, how to do it, and how much the solution costs, a little bit of services. So let's jump into the product. And again, the first exercise I want to show is how people can use natural language to get answer to the questions anytime, anywhere. Right now, I am in the sales analysis part of DataSelf. So I'm connected to the ERP system, looking at sales transactions, invoice header, invoice detail, customer table, product table, all of those things related to the sales of an organization. And as the VP of sales, I want to see sales by salesperson last year, in 2019. I could go and find a report that has this answer, absolutely, or I can use natural language. Sales by sales person in 2019. So I ask a question to the tool. The tool uses natural language and artificial intelligence to try to understand what the person is asking in running that query against the data that is in DataSelf. And if it finds the parameters, the sales, the salesperson, the date, invoice date, if it finds those parameters, it will build a new report from scratch on the fly with an instant, accurate answer to that question. And there it is. By salesperson, I see sales in invoice date 2019. And if you put the mouse over each of these bars, it gives me the actual amount to the penny for each of those salespeople. It's that easy. It's that empowering. If a person knows how to search on the internet, they can create reports from scratch in DataSelf. Now, usually is an interaction, it's more questions. Hey, I want to see this by month. Sure. By month, I'm going to press enter. Again, the tool uses natural language. Do we have an invoice date? Do we have a month for this invoice date? If so, it will break down this report in a certain way showing by month. In this example, the tool put in 2019, by month, for every salesperson, it gave me a line chart. Instant, accurate answer. Now, sometimes people don't want to see whatever the tool thought it was a good answer. The tool loves charts, so by default, it will give you charts. And maybe you don't want to see a line chart. Maybe you want to see something else, maybe a grid, like Excel. Sure, I can go over here and say, I don't want to see a line chart. I want to see something else, like a text table, which is like Excel. I click text table, and now the tool will convert that visualization, whatever it was, into a text table. That easy. And some people actually want to get the data easily and export to Excel or into something else to share with other people. Sure, I can come over here and select a data point. Let's say I'm going to check all the dates in January. So I select all of those data points and I tell the tool, show me the data. When I click show me the data, it can give you a snapshot of the summary of the data in a tabular format of those months only, or I can see the full data. The full data means I can see the underlying records, the invoice number, the invoice date, every single piece of information behind that aggregation goes to Excel. And now in Excel, I can have all the data and then I can do whatever I want to do in Excel. So finding information using natural language, exporting to Excel is something that most business users can do because this is very basic navigation of web-based searching the internet kind of thing. Very empowering. So people say it's kind of magic. Looks like magic. It's technology designed to help decision makers be more independent. Now, let me show two more examples. And by the way, I can save these queries at any point. I could click the save button, which I'm not using a credential to save, but this can be saved. So next time I don't need to do it again. It's just a pre-configured report. Absolutely can save it. I'm going to clear this sheet and I'm going to click create a new report from scratch. Top 10 customers by sales in April 2019. So a more elaborate question. And again, the tool using natural language, artificial intelligence, if the answer is out there, it will render a report. In this example, I see the customers, I see sales in a descending order in April 2019, and the tool gave me a chart. You know, the tool loves charts. In blue is in the top 10. It gave me in gray the customers who are not in the top 10. It gave me all of them and highlighted these are the top 10. Cool. Maybe I like it, or maybe I don't. Maybe I want to see again on a chart, on a different representation. I just want to see the customers. Show me the numbers by the penny, and right there it is, my top 10 customers with the sales in that period by the penny. Super easy. My last example of natural language is a geography analysis. So in this example, I'm going to choose gross profit instead. Gross profit by state, by year as a map. In the tool, when you ask to put something on a geography component, we'll try to plot that information using map representation. And for some businesses, looking at regions can be state, can be country, can be city, can be counting, different map representations, you can see the trends. So in this example, in my sample database, 2 years, I can see by state how the gross profit is doing, looking at this color legend. So the point is, natural language is very empowering. It's like magic, and it can help a lot of people today that cannot do it themselves, reports, cannot build reports and modify reports. They can now use natural language. And the analogy with search the internet is amazingly accurate because many questions will be answered instantly, accurately, but people will not get all the answers like on the internet. You know, sometimes and many times you got to call people and ask for expert assistance. So this is the same thing. Natural language is fairly 5 years old, so it's kind of new technology. It's amazingly empowering, but it's not perfect. And many times people have to call the experts to build more complex, more elaborate reports that the natural language still doesn't do it. What I'm going to show you next is how people who go through more training, typically hours, the average is 8 to 10 hours of training. I'm going to show how easy it is to build more elaborate custom reports that natural language might not do it. So now I'm going to switch to a different framework, which is the report design framework in DataSelf. If you're not a consultant now, this might be a little bit more technical, but the good news is it's easy. The basics are amazingly easy. If you know how to drag and drop in computers, you can do a lot with the basics. But anyhow, so now I am in the report editor of DataSelf. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to build in the next 5 minutes a dashboard from scratch showing 3 different data trends in my sample database. The first data trend I want to see is sales by customer, by product this year. So I want to see a Tableau report showing by the penny that information. Then I will also want to see how my sales and gross profit percentage is trending over time. So I want to see a chart showing both curves. And third, I want to see how I'm doing from a geography standpoint, how my sales are by state. And I want to make this a dashboard where I can easily interact with the data to have discussions with my sales team to see how my sales by customer product is doing, my sales by customer product is doing, right? How my profitability in sales is changing over time, and how I'm doing by territories in the US. So let's do it. So I'm going to build the first report. I'm going to go to my dimensions and measures, and this is my sales information. Again, in DataSelf, we have sales, we have financial information, we have purchasing, inventory, a bunch of things. Right now, I'm focused on sales. And this is, invoice header, invoice detail, customer table, things of that nature. And I want to see my customers. Sure, here's my customer. I drag into my rows. Right now, the report shows in my list of my customers. I want to see sales. I drag into my report. So right now, I'm looking at sales by customer in my whole company history. Well, I want to see sales this year. I'm gonna take my fiscal period and put in my column. So it's just drag and drop. And by default, the tool breaks by year. And right now I see year in my columns. And I only wanna see this year or any year. I can tell, show me the fiscal year as a filter so I can easily select whatever that I want. And now I have filter on the right, and I only want to see 2020, so I uncheck the other 2 years. And now this report is showing sales by customer in 2020. This report I can do in natural language. Absolutely, it's easier and faster, and it will give me a chart, and then I can change to text quickly. So far, natural language does it better than this. But in this example, I also want to see sales by customer, by product. I want to break down this report by 2 different dimensions. How can I do it? Here, I find any dimension or measure that I want to see, and I drag and drop. So I'm going to take product ID and put after my customer. And now the report broke down by customer, by product, my sales this year. And if I want to change things, drag and drop more fields, or maybe, you know, want to add, I don't know, want to add a salesperson, I just drag and drop. And now I'm doing things that natural language can't. These things you cannot do in natural language. You got to know how to drag and drop. So just drag and drop. Maybe I want to see by product, by customer. Sure, by product, by customer. I just changed the order of my pills here. And now by product, by customer, I see sales. Maybe I want to see totals, subtotals. Sure. I tell the tool, show me subtotals, and I have the subtotals. That's it, my first report. Sales by product, by customer this year. That was easy. Not as easy as natural language, but, you know, pretty easy still. Now I want to see a different chart, a new report. I want to see sales and gross profit over time. So I'm going to click a new sheet, just like in Excel, a new tab. A new sheet is the same thing as a new tab. So I have a second sheet. And I want to see sales. So I'm going to double click sales. It plots me a bar with all my sales in the company history. And I want to see over time. So I'm going to double click my document date, which here is invoice date. And it's showing me sales by year. Well, I want to see by month. So I'm going to tell the tool, don't show me year. I want to see actually month. So I choose month, and now the tool plots the sales by month in the whole company history. That was easy. I also want to see gross profit percentage. Well, gross profit percentage right here. What I do is I drag and drop into my report. And right there, the tool put gross profit percentage as a line here, and my sales as a line at the bottom. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Let me change the representation right now and put them what is called in a dual axis representation. I want to see them together. Now the tool converted those 2 separate lines into bars for sales and a blue line for gross profit. And now I can see what's happening with my sales and gross profit trends over time. Again, point and click, drag and drop, quickly, I got a new perspective out of my data. The last part of this report is I want to see sales by state. So I'm going to choose the geo information, could be shipped to, could be customer address. Any geographical component in your database can be plotted in a map. I'm going to choose state. I want to see sales, and I tell the tool, show me this on a map. And on a map it is. Let's make the bubbles a little bigger. So bigger bubbles, bigger sales, and that's my third widget or report. Okay, cool. That was not too bad. That was kind of easy. But I want to see them together now in an interactive dashboard. Sure. We're going to create now a new dashboard. And then dashboards, we can make them very interactive. We can change the sizes. We can make them available in mobile devices. It's amazing, empowering to make dashboards available anytime, anywhere. And these are the 3 sheets I created, you know, sheet 1, 2, and 3. The first sheet is my Tableau report. It's right here. The second sheet is my trend analysis. So I'm going to put at the bottom my trend analysis. Just drag and drop. And my third sheet is the map. I'm going to put the map on the right. And that's it. I just created a fairly elaborate, I mean, it's simple, but elaborate dashboard that has sales by product, by customer this year, sales by state, and trend analysis. And now this dashboard is interactive. If I click save, this becomes a new dashboard from scratch, available for anyone in my sales organization, sales division, for instance. And then if I'm looking with my salespeople and I want to analyze, let's say, certain states, and I'm looking this on a tablet, like on an iPad, on Android device, I could use my finger to select certain states. I'm going to select these states. When I do so, the whole tool will refresh the other widgets to show how I'm doing in those particular states. And this is very interactive. Maybe I want to select other states. And then the tool makes it very interactive and simple to change things. This kind of interactivity, this kind of ease of use, you do not find in reporting tools in built-in ERP systems or CRM systems. You do not find this unless you use enterprise-grade technology. That's what we use, and we just make it easy and affordable so you can have this kind of features in your hands pretty much after a few hours of deployment for little cost, and we'll show more about that later. So this, what I just showed you, is the report designer in DataSelf. There's a lot more things you can do. There's a lot more things you can learn. You know, this tool, as I mentioned, it takes about 8 hours of training to become really good at a lot of the features. But the basics that I showed you now, the basics are amazingly simple. Drag and drop, point and click. I have some clients that they became proficient in DataSelf after they watch a demo like this. Drag and drop, I can do it. Point and click, I can do it, and I can experiment. And they just started to experiment, and eventually they become pretty good at customizing their own reports. Again, very empowering. Not for business people necessarily. You need to invest some time into it, but it's pretty empowering. All right, so I just finished the second part of the demo, which is showing how to create new reports and dashboards from scratch that natural language cannot do, and you need more training. That's the second part. The third part of the training, I want to show some of the out-of-the-box reports and dashboards we have in DataSelf Advanced Analytics, in how interactive they are for business users. At the end of the day, analytics in BI is to empower decision makers, the people who know the business, who know the customers, the products, the services, your team, for them to look at data to make more informed decisions, hopefully better decisions to weather the challenges of our world out there. What I'm showing you now is a year-over-year sales dashboard that is available out of the box as soon as we deploy the solution. This dashboard is very popular with salespeople in the sales team because it allows them to easily see critical metrics around customers, products or services, trend over time, at least for the past 2 years, and geography analysis. Easy to customize. You know, some people don't care about customers or don't care about products. They want to see services. It's easy to change, like I showed before in the prior example, but let me show you how interactive a dashboard can be for the non-techies, the people who need to be inspired by data. So this dashboard right now is showing sales this year, last year, in the variance, dollar and percentage. And this chart shows me by period. The dark blue is this year, the light blue is last year. And that's why I'm declining, because in my current sample database, today is October the 8th. So I'm comparing a partial year 2019 versus a full year last year. Yes, I'm declining. Of course, it's not fair. What if I want to compare year-over-year sections of my data? First quarter, maybe a few months, maybe year to date. Sure. I go to this report on the right, or to this filter on the right. And in my case, I'm going to uncheck the months that are not into 2019 yet full. I want to see a full year-to-date comparison through the period 9 and press apply. Now the report is only looking at the first 9 periods of my year. I can see the trend analysis, and now I'm growing by 11%. Very good. I can see the trends by geography. So the size of the bubble is sales this year. Black bubbles, I'm growing since last year to date. Red bubbles, I'm declining. So I can see Louisiana, I'm declining by 16%. You know, the pop-up tells me more information about that particular data point, while Texas is growing by 38% since last year to date. Very informative. I see by customer sales last year, this year, in the variance in dollar amount, and right now it's sort of descending by this year. So these are my top customers this year. The same information by product. And as a salesperson, when I see this information, I might have questions. What happens, let's say, what happens to my top customers last year, how they're doing this year, right? How my top customers last year are doing this year. Here, I can quickly come to this, any part of this headers and click the sort icon. I click it once. It sorts descending order by sales last year. So these are my top customers last year. Wow, look at this. Some of them have major decline in sales. That might not be good. If you don't know why, can you reverse it? And once I see this as a salesperson, I say, wow, who else is declining so much? I need to focus on who's declining a lot. Maybe I can reverse those trends. Sure, I can come over here to this column and also sort. The first time that I sort is my top customer by sales growth since last year to date in this example. Click again. These are the top customers by sales decline since last year to date. Why are they declining? I want to see them more information about them. Sure, I can select these three customers, the three bars. And by doing so, the whole dashboard changes to only focus on my data around these three customers. I see the totals, I see the trend analysis, I see the ship to, and I see the products that are driving this whole business. Which products are driving the decline? I can go over here and sort, and these are the products driving the major decline. This kind of interactivity in dashboards, and again, you can customize, you can add more widgets, you can add more pieces, but this kind of interactivity empowers business users to be more independent, to find opportunities, to find threats to whatever they're doing in any department, inventory management, sales, financials, budgeting, services, no matter what the data is, this kind of interactivity will get smart people more independent, making better decisions, informed decisions, and hopefully making your business better, helping your clients better to be, you know, that's our goal in life, is make the world better. Now, DataSelf is not only to look at big picture trend analysis. It's amazing at doing that, absolutely. But sometimes you need to go down to see the details, the actual transactions, line by line. And like I showed before in natural language, you can easily drill into the underlying data. In my example here, I'm going to choose a data point in my dashboard. This is period 7, and I'm going to tell the tool, show me the sales details. And when I click sales details, it pops at the bottom of this report a section show me every single line item associated to that data point. And here, again, if I want to export to Excel to do some manipulation outside Excel, is absolutely a few clicks away. I got it to Excel and I do more manipulation. Again, this interactivity, this ability to see the big picture and start to drilling down, going all the way to the most granular level and allowing business people to do it easily is unheard of in the mid-market, and we're excited to bring you for a very low cost. Finally, my final example as how users can interact with this is how can I see this information in different forms. Right now, I'm showing you when I go to the tool and I open a dashboard and I interact in it. Well, this dashboard or any DataSelf dashboard can be embedded in most applications. Can be embedded in Acumatica, can be embedded in Sage 100, can be embedded in Sage X3. We don't know the answer to Sage 300 yet, but I believe it's also possible to insert DataSelf reports and dashboards inside of the ERP So the users don't even know that when they open an interactive dashboard, it's not the ERPs, it's the DataSelf's, but with the ERP data. So that can be done. Second is, hey, I want to see this on a mobile device. How this dashboard will look on a mobile device, right? Well, here we have this device layouts that shows how this dashboard will look on a mobile device. Right now, I chose the phone approach. I could see the tablet, but then the tool puts all of those widgets in a vertical representation, and they are interactive, just like I did on the desktop. So mobile devices, super friendly, super easy to see the same trends, anytime, anywhere, as long as you have internet connection. Finally, maybe I want to receive this report, a dashboard, on my email, on a schedule. Do I need to call someone to get my report in my email? No, you can come over here and tell, I want to subscribe to this report. I click subscribe, and I can tell who should receive this report. It can be only me, or I can add other people. I'm gonna add Zach, I'm gonna add Peter. Peter's not here, maybe Taylor. There it is. So I can add other people. I can set the time. I'm going to receive this report daily, weekly, month, on the day, whatever the day. You choose pick a schedule, click subscribe, and that's it. Automatic distribution reports, hands-free, with no need to involve a consultant. Consultants can do more. There's more dials to control distribution, but a user can actually self-subscribe whatever they want, the time that they want. Make users more empowered. They'll make better decisions. They move the business forward. All right. There was a demo. I hope you have found this informative. By the way, the video is being recorded, so we'll make this webinar available over the internet. Let me go back to the PowerPoint to give you some pricing, deployment, and other ideas. Pricing. The solution starts at $299 per month, and it includes 10 named user licenses. Now, because you are investing your time, and we really appreciate, we know that things are crazy out there, and we're super busy, we're going to be giving you 20 users for the same price for the first 12 months, as long as you order Advanced Analytics by May 31st. And feel free to email us at sales@dataself.com if you want to have more information about the promotion and if it's going to work for you. But there is more. Because you are in this webinar, we're giving right now a 14-day free trial. So for the first 10 requests, you can experiment DataSelf for 10 days for no cost. And if you wanted to keep it, then you pay it. If it didn't work for you, thank you, no harm, no foul. So making it really easy for you to see if DataSelf can empower your team to be more self-sufficient. Now, before I go into the Q&A, I want to show you how you can find more information about Advanced Analytics on a website and how you can actually place the order. So if you go to a web browser and go to DataSelf.com, so plain DataSelf.com, choose the product that you use. Can be right now Acumatica, Sage 100, 300, or X3. And by the way, we support all of these products using our enterprise analytics, which I did not cover today. I only covered advanced analytics, which is inexpensive and quick to deploy. But talk about advanced analytics. Let's say that I'm a Sage 100 client. I can click on Sage. I go to this page. I pick Sage 100. So it's right here, Sage 100. When I go to this page, it's going to give me two options. Do I want to see advanced analytics for $299, or do I want to see enterprise analytics, which is more? And just a quick note, enterprise analytics, you can combine multiple data sources, multiple databases, multi-company, multi-currency. You can do a lot more, but that's not the topic of today's presentation. So back to advanced analytics, I click this button. This page for every product that I mentioned about has a lot of good information, so feel free to explore, watch the video, read the technical description, some of the business, but it has pricing. So if you want to see how the pricing works, the pricing is right here. If you need more users, how much you're going to be paying extra per month. So feel free to explore pricing. It also has the deploy analytics now. So if you saw it, you like it, you want to move forward, click this button, and then you can pretty much fill out a form. If you're Acumatica, it takes about 15 minutes to fill out the form. If you are not Acumatica, it takes about 5 minutes to deploy the form. And by the way, if you want to use a free trial, you got to send an email to sales@dataself.com, and we will give you a special code to make the deployment free for 14 days. So email me or email sales@dataself to get the code to make the deployment free for 14 days. The last part on this page is if you go to the bottom to this section, dashboards for the ERP system, and if you click the link, you will go to this other page that has screenshots of the out-of-the-box dashboards and reports, some of the reports and dashboards available out of the box that you'll get with the subscription. So feel free, again, to go to dataself.com. If you're Acumatica, click here. If you're Sage, click here. Next page, when you select the proper ERP system, click Advanced Analytics, and then you can learn more details and go forward. All right, having said that, I'm gonna open a questions and answer section. So if you do have questions, please use the Zoom panel. It has a chat box or a QA section. So please ask your questions, and I'm going to be addressing them right now. Let me see if we have any questions over here. All right, a question from Nicole. How long does it take to deploy advanced analytics? Nicole, good question, because I think, in my explanation, I might have confused some people. The deployment of DataSelf Analytics advanced analytics has 2 steps. The first one is your step. Fill out the form that I showed on the website. Very quick, very easy. You will request a credit card information, and if you get our special code, the credit card is not going to be charged for 15 days, and you can cancel anytime. So fill out the form. If you're Acumatica client, that's it. You fill out the form. There's, you got to upload some GIs and put some information over there. That's it. 15 minutes, you're done. In a few hours after or by tomorrow, DataSelf will come alive with your data. That's simple. If you have an on-prem system like Sage 100, 300, or X3, then after you fill out the form, we will contact you or your reseller to schedule the installation of an on-premise data extraction tool. And then we will go with you and your VAR, hopefully, and install this extraction tool. It's simple. It usually takes about 15, 30 minutes. The system requirements are super simple. Usually it's going to be running on the same box where Sage is. We install it, we schedule it, and pretty much after we do that, in a few hours or by tomorrow, your data comes alive in the cloud. And from that point forward, the solution would automatically refresh the data on a scheduled basis. So once the system is deployed and the data has been uploaded to the cloud, on an ongoing basis, the system will automatically refresh. Nicole, thanks for your question. Let's see if we have more questions. All right, we have another question here from Peter. How does training work with DataSelf? Peter, good question, how training works. So talking about advanced analytics, we have 3 types of services associated to the deployment, and training goes along with those 3 different approaches. Approach number 1 is we have about 40% of our clients that require 0 support to get the ball rolling. They saw the webinar, they saw how the drag and drop works, they saw some videos on the internet, and they become self-sufficient out of the box as is. So 0 services required from DataSelf. There's some other clients that they actually need some level of support, installing the solution, testing to be sure the data is accurate, depending on your ERP configuration. The DataSelf system also needs some tweaks, how we calculate gross profit, how we calculate sales, whatnot. So those kind of clients, they usually require some level of service from DataSelf or from your VAR, DataSelf VAR. And typically those clients also require from us training. Typically, when people want some training, we budget 6 hours of training, 6 to 8 hours, to give you a very good insight into the report designer tool and how you can do more elaborate examples than what I covered today during the demo. So that would be the second layer of customization. Is usually a flat fee that covers assistance with the quality assurance process plus 6 to 8 hours of training. The third type of approach is some clients, they have very sophisticated deployments that there's a lot of additional customization DataSelf to be really addressing their custom needs. And for those clients, we have SOWs. We talk with them, we discuss their needs. Quite often we can deliver on address those needs using advanced analytics. Sometimes clients really need is the enterprise analytics where we have a full-blown data warehouse with all the bells and whistles to do more elaborate, data blending and data manipulation. So the third approach is a specific SOW. I'm gonna address one more question. Let's see here. I have a question from Edit. Edit, hello, Africa. Nice to see you here. How easy is consolidation of different Sage X3 database folders from different servers into one single report or dashboard in DataSelf? Edit, thanks for your question. So, and very good that you brought it up because I missed telling you one information about advanced analytics versus the enterprise version. So let me go back to my website to show you. Let me go to the X3 portion and go to advanced analytics, not the enterprise. And I'm going to scroll down in the architecture of DataSelf. So this architecture of DataSelf is the same advanced analytics architecture for all products we support. For advanced analytics, we can only pull data from a single source, a single Sage X3 database, or a single Sage 300, single Sage 100, or a single Acumatica tenant. If you have a multi-company framework with several databases, then you need to go enterprise. With DataSelf, with enterprise analytics from DataSelf, we can consolidate multiple companies. With advanced analytics, if you have more than one, what you can do is for every Sage X3 company, you can have a separate advanced analytics site. The users can be the same or can be different, but when you go to one of the DataSelf sites, you only see company ABC. You go to the other site, you see company DEF. So advanced analytics can handle multi-company. Yes, it can, but they are not consolidated into a single site. The price for additional sites is discounted. So the first company for X3 would be $4.99 per month. Additional companies typically is half the price. So if you have 5 companies, the first is $4.99. The additional 4 would be pretty much $2.50 per month. Added, I hope I have answered your question. Running out of time. This session is being recorded. We're going to be emailing you a recording to it by tomorrow. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to ask for the free trial code, please email me personally or send an email to sales@dataself.com and we'll take care of you. I hope you have found this video informative. I hope you have found this webinar informative. Thank you again for joining us. Stay safe, well, and sane, which has been a challenge for most of us. Thank you all, and have a great day.